Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into a really fascinating sector. It's not just growing, it's completely reshaping how businesses connect with us, the customers.
That's right.
We are talking about the global customer service robots market.
Hmm.
Our mission here is to really unpack the key trends, the sometimes surprising numbers, and those crucial regional differences that are basically defining the future of customer interaction.
Exactly.
And look, this isn't just about robots doing tasks, right?
Yeah.
It's more fundamental. It's about how we engage with services every single day.
And what's so gripping, I think, is that this market is right at that convergence point. You got advanced automation, AI, cutting-edge robotics, all meeting right here.
Right.
And when we say customer service robots, it's quite broad. It could be, physical bots you might see in a hotel lobby, maybe,
Yeah.
or sophisticated AI chatbots, virtual assistants, handling everything from simple questions to, well, pretty complex problem solving online or, over the phone. It really is a prime example of the future kind of unfolding now, showing how industries everywhere
Yeah.
are just revolutionizing customer engagement.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting with the global big picture. The numbers themselves tell quite a story, don't they? A story of dramatic growth.
They really do. So
Mm.
back in 2021, the global market was sitting at just over $6.2 billion.
Okay, significant starting point.
Definitely. But the acceleration is where it gets interesting. Look forward to 2025, and that number jumps to over 9.5 billion.
Wow.
And then here's the really transformative part.
Mm.
By 2033, this market is expected to, well, skyrocket. We're talking nearly $22.5 billion.
22.5 billion.
Yeah. And that works out to a pretty robust compound annual growth rate, the CAGR,
Right.
of 11.3%.
11.3%.
Think of it like a snowball, rolling downhill, getting bigger and faster every year. It's fundamentally changing that customer service landscape.
More than tripling in, what, just over a decade? That kind of scale, that transformation is really profound when you think about how we as consumers are going to experience customer service. It's not just a small tweak, it's a whole redefinition.
Exactly.
Now, those global figures, they give us a powerful overview, sure, but the story, I find, always gets more interesting, more granular when we zoom in on the regions.
Absolutely.
Each place has its own drivers, its own adoption patterns. So let's transition into that regional breakdown.
Yeah, and understanding those regional dynamics, it helps us see not just the how much, but the where and, often the why behind this big global shift.
Okay, let's kick off with North America. It's often been a front runner in tech adoption. So what's driving its big role here?
Well, North America's market was already over 1.8 billion back in 2021,
Right.
and it's on track to go past 6.1 billion by 2033. That keeps it at a strong CAGR, just over 10.6%.
Okay.
The U.S. is, well, as you'd expect, the dominant force. Yeah, it's projected to grow from about 1.5 billion in 21 to over 5 billion by 2033.
5 billion just in the US.
Yeah, and a lot of that seems to be driven by big companies investing heavily in AI virtual assistants, smart kiosks, things to streamline operations, improve the customer experience.
Those kiosks you see everywhere now.
Exactly. And we also see Canada showing really consistent growth. It's heading towards 539 million by 2033. That's an impressive 11.7% CAGR, roughly.
Oh,
And Mexico showing a big rise too, getting close to 536 million by 2033.
So it's not just the U.S. size, but really widespread, rapid adoption across the whole continent, especially with those visible things like smart kiosks. That's what's pushing the growth.
That seems to be the picture, yes.
Okay, next stop, Europe. What about its market? Any unique contributions or strategies shaping things over there?
Europe's market is definitely substantial. It's growing from over 1.3 billion in 2021 to forecast over 4.5 billion by 2033. That's a healthy 10.8% CAGR.
Solid growth.
Very solid. And while the UK shows robust growth climbing to nearly 735 million, it's actually Germany leading the pack in Europe.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah, its market is expanding from about 275 million in 21 to an impressive 1 billion by 2033. That's an 11.5% CAGR.
Over a billion. Why Germany, do you think?
Well, it's often linked to Germany's strong industrial automation sector. It just provides a really solid foundation for integrating service robots across different industries.
Ah, makes sense. That industrial strength translates.
Exactly. And we also see strong, consistent double-digit growth from France, Italy, Spain, plus solid contributions from the tech-savvy Scandinavian countries, too.
So, Germany's industrial power is key, but it's fascinating to see such consistent adoption across really diverse European economies, not just the big guys.
Right. It's pretty broad-based.
Okay, now let's talk about the booming Asia Pacific region. Given its scale, its rapid digital transformation, I'm guessing we'll see some pretty impactful stuff here.
You are absolutely right to expect that. Asia Pacific's market is seeing an explosive surge. It's leaping from nearly 2.3 billion in 2021 to, well, an astounding 8.8 billion by 2033.
Wow, 8.8 billion.
And that comes with a stellar CAGR, 11.97%, one of the highest globally.
Good.
China is, of course, a massive contributor. Its market's growing from 690 million to over 2.7 billion.
Huge.
But what really jumps out in the data is India.
India.
Yeah, it boasts the highest country-specific CAGR we have in the data at 12.83%.
12.8. That's remarkable.
Really is. It's climbing from 333 million in 21 to over 1.4 billion by 2033. And that's likely driven by, massive digital transformation pushes, a rapidly growing tech-savvy population that wants innovative services, including things like personalized service bots.
Right, that personalization angle.
Exactly. And Japan, South Korea, Australia, they also contribute significantly. And you see these emerging markets like Singapore, Southeast Asia, Taiwan, they're also showing exceptionally high growth rates. It signals very broad adoption across the region.
That Indian growth rate really hammers home the region's rapid innovative adoption, especially in personalization. It shows how fast new tech can just take hold.
It's a key takeaway for sure.
Okay, moving on. South America. What's its trajectory look like in this whole evolving landscape? What's driving growth there?
South America's market is projected to jump pretty substantially, from about 373 million in 2021 to nearly 1.4 billion by 2033.
Okay, quite a leap.
Definitely. Brazil, being the largest economy, is a big contributor, set to reach over 553 million by 2033.
Makes sense.
But interestingly, Argentina and Chile are both showing KGRs over 12%.
Over 12.
Yeah. Often that's driven by, increasing digital literacy, growing demand for efficient digital services, especially within their kind of burgeoning middle classes.
Right.
And other nations like Colombia, Peru, they're also showing consistent adoption patterns.
So it's clear there's a strong and accelerating momentum for this kind of automation right across South America.
Yeah, the signals are strong.
Okay, next up, let's turn to the Middle East. What kind of innovation, what kind of investment are we seeing there?
The Middle East's revenue is projected to rise significantly, too, from about 236 million in 21 to over 881 million by 2033. That's an 11.55% CAGR.
Strong CAGR.
Very strong. Saudi Arabia is forecast to go past 250 million, and the UAE really stands out with a 12.22% CAGR.
Over 12% for the UAE.
Yeah, reaching over 161 million by 2033. And this growth, it often seems spurred by the region's, ambitious plans for modernization, smart cities.
Right, those big visions.
Exactly, and a strong focus on enhancing customer experience, especially in sectors like hospitality, finance. We also see countries like Turkey, Egypt, Qatar experiencing robust double-digit growth as well.
That's impressive. Seeing those strategic investments in customer service tech paying off with such strong double-digit growth across a region that's really pushing innovation.
It aligns with their broader goals, definitely.
All right, finally, let's wrap up the regional tour with Africa. What emerging opportunities, maybe unique challenges, is the continent navigating here?
Africa's market is forecasted to increase notably, from about 186 million in 2021 to almost 689 million by 2033, growing at a 10.79% CAGR.
It's still double digits.
Still double digits, yes.
Mm-hmm.
South Africa is expected to pass 268 million, kind of leading the continent in adoption.
Okay.
But we're also seeing Nigeria and other parts of Africa showing significant promise. There's rising adoption of robotic customer service across really key sectors like retail, hospitality, banking.
Interesting.
And this often reflects a bit of a leapfrogging effect,
Yeah.
where countries adopt newer technologies directly, maybe skipping over older, less efficient systems.
Right, bypassing legacy stuff. And that focus on key sectors like retail and banking, it really highlights the immediate practical uses and, well, the massive potential for impact across Africa.
Absolutely. It's meeting real needs.
Okay.
So what does this all mean? When you kind of synthesize all this regional data,
Yeah, putting it all together.
it paints a really clear picture, I think. Compelling. The widespread adoption of customer service robots, it's not just limited to a few leading countries or, specific niches.
No.
It's truly a global phenomenon. It demonstrates this widespread fundamental shift in how businesses are operating and, crucially, how they're choosing to interact with their customers. It feels like we're seeing a global consensus that this is the way forward.
That's a perfect way to put it. Our journey through these numbers, and maybe more importantly, the insights they give us, it makes it abundantly clear, doesn't it?
Hmm.
The global momentum for customer service robots is just undeniable. This isn't, some far off sci-fi concept anymore. It's a core business reality. It's unfolding right now, impacting industries everywhere.
And just to reinforce that, it really is about how automation, AI,
Yeah.
robotics are fundamentally revolutionizing industries and customer interactions. We see it happening.
Yeah.
Like the rise of those personalized service bots in Asia that can adapt to what individual customers need. Or just how common smart kiosks are becoming in retail, transport, especially in North America and Europe. This isn't just theory, it's actual tech transforming everyday experiences.
So why should you, listening right now, care about all this? Well, it's fundamentally about understanding the shifts in how we as customers, as consumers, are going to interact with businesses very, very soon.
That's the core of it.
Whether you're, I don't know, calling a helpline, checking into a hotel, ordering food, your experience is likely going to be shaped by these advancements. It's not just corporate strategy, it's about your everyday life.
Yeah. And this brings up a really important question, I think, for all of us to think about. Given this explosive growth, this widespread adoption,
Mm.
how might the sort of pervasive presence of customer service robots ultimately reshape our expectations of human interaction?
Mm.
Not just in business deals, but maybe even in society more broadly.
That's a powerful thought to kind of chew on, isn't it? How will these tech advancements subtly, or maybe not so subtly, change our everyday interactions and what we expect from them? Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Stay curious and stay well informed. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a really fascinating world. It's fundamentally changing how businesses interact with us, their customers. I'm talking about the dynamic and, well, rapidly growing realm of customer service robots. So, for this deep dive, our mission is to unpack the core drivers behind this tech shift. We want to understand the challenges it faces, and they are real, and also look at the fascinating trends shaping its future. Now, all of this is based on insights from a pretty comprehensive market report, so you should walk away with a clearer picture. For most of us, things like speed, convenience, consistency, they aren't just nice to haves anymore, are they? They've become absolute expectations. And that's really where these customer service robots are stepping in. They're designed to meet, maybe even exceed those demands. Okay, so what's actually driving this explosion of robots in customer service? It seems there are a few really compelling forces at play here. The market report highlights how businesses across all sorts of sectors, retail, hospitality, banking, are embracing these robotic systems. They're using them to streamline operations, significantly reduce human error, and crucially, offer around the clock availability. Imagine getting your questions answered at 3 a.m. These systems seem incredibly effective at managing those repetitive inquiries, which naturally boosts response times and, you hope, improves overall customer satisfaction. It's pretty clear that organizations see them not just as scalable solutions, but really as a path to a high return on investment, ROI and operational efficiency and customer engagement.
And what's really fascinating, I think, connecting to that, is how much of this adoption is driven by a very practical, very pressing issue, which is the growing labor shortage across so many industries.
Ah, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, frontline customer service roles especially are getting harder and harder to fill, and robots are, well, effectively bridging that gap. Think about how this actually plays out on the ground. You've got automating hotel check-ins, maybe efficiently managing queues at banks, or even guiding customers through a massive retail store, pointing them exactly where they need to go.
That must take a huge strain off human staff.
Exactly. It drastically reduces the strain on human resources,
Right.
and it allows businesses to reallocate their people to more complex, maybe higher value tasks, things that really need that human touch.
Right. The problems only a person can solve.
Precisely. And ultimately, it minimizes costs, and it sort of creates a sustainability for operations,
Yeah.
especially in a world where finding a consistent workforce can be, well, tough.
This really does sound like a revolution in the making. And underpinning it all, the report points to some truly groundbreaking advancements. You mentioned AI.
Yes, artificial intelligence and also natural language processing, NLP.
That's the part that lets computers understand human language.
Exactly. That's the technological backbone making all of this possible. It's come so far.
So what can these AI robots actually do now?
Well, they're capable of understanding natural human speech, like you and I are talking now. They can detect context within conversations, which is critical, and even engage in multilingual interactions pretty seamlessly.
Wow.
And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Machine learning. It's allowing them to continuously improve their interactions. They learn from every single conversation,
Like a human does, but faster.
much faster, and at a scale impossible for individuals. They become more intuitive, and yes, even more human-like over time. The report even hints that this isn't just about making robots, nicer. It suggests we might be entering a new era, an era of emotionally intelligent robots.
Emotionally intelligent. What does that mean in practice?
It means potentially being able to handle nuanced, layered interactions. Maybe sensing frustration or urgency. It could redefine personal support and care itself, moving way beyond just simple queries.
That's quite a leap. But while all this potential sounds incredibly promising, we can't ignore the hurdles, can we? The real challenges these technologies face. So what are the significant limitations that exist despite these rapid advancements?
You've definitely hit on something crucial there. A primary restraint is certainly the high initial
The
investment.
cost to get started?
Right.
Yeah.
You're not just looking at the cost of the robot hardware itself. You've also got the integration with existing systems, which can be complex. Then there's continuous software updates, ongoing technical maintenance.
The total cost of ownership.
Exactly. And that total cost can be pretty daunting,
Right.
especially, as you hinted earlier, for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs.
Okay, so cost is one thing. What about what they can actually do?
Good point. There are still technical limitations. While these robots, they absolutely excel at routine tasks, things that are predictable, repetitive,
Like answering FAQs or basic account queries?
yes, but they still often struggle with interpreting subtle emotional cues or managing truly unexpected, complex situations, things that go off script.
I can see how that would be a problem.
It can lead to performance gaps that, frankly, can affect customer trust, particularly in sensitive sectors. Think about healthcare or travel, where empathy and adaptability are absolutely crucial. You don't want a robot misreading a stressful situation.
No, definitely not. And what about security? That must be a huge concern.
Oh, absolutely. Privacy and data security are critical concerns. These robots, by their nature, often handle a lot of sensitive personal information.
Customer data, financial details?
Right. Which makes them potential targets for cyber threats. Plus, you have regulations like GDPR, that's the European Data Privacy Law, but it has global impact. It's really raised the bar for compliance, so companies need to invest significantly. Robust cybersecurity infrastructure, ethical AI governance,
Which just adds another layer of complexity.
and cost, yes. It definitely adds to the adoption challenge.
Okay, so despite those obstacles, cost, technical limits, security, there's clearly forward momentum. The market report points to some compelling trends. What are the key things shaping the future here?
Well, one big thing is we're seeing a significant increase in their deployment in physical environments.
Not just chatbots online, but actual robots out in the world.
Exactly,
Yeah.
especially within hospitality and retail. Imagine robots guiding travelers at airports, helping guests check in at hotels, or maybe assisting shoppers in navigating those huge malls, finding exactly what they need.
That enhances service, I suppose?
It enhances service quality, definitely. And it provides that touchless interaction that became so essential, well, post-pandemic. Offers convenience and a sense of safety.
Okay, what else?
And this next evolution is quite fascinating. The rise of humanoid and emotionally responsive robots.
Humanoid, like looking more like people.
To some extent, yes,
Yeah.
but also acting more like people. Engineers are designing robots that actually mimic human expressions and respond to emotional cues.
Really? So they can tell if you're happy or annoyed.
That's the goal, to make interactions feel far more natural.
Yeah.
And importantly, help establish trust. Think about their relevance in high-touch industries, like caregiving, hospitality, maybe elderly care, places where empathy and warmth are absolutely critical to the experience.
That's a big step beyond just efficiency.
It really is. And finally, there's a growing emphasis on seamless integration
Integration with what?
with omni-channel customer experience systems. Today's customer journey is complex. It spans websites, apps, social media, physical locations.
All right, you might start on the website, then call, then visit a store.
Precisely. So, customer service robots are now being synced with CRM platforms.
The customer relationship management system.
Yes, the systems that track all customer interactions. They're also syncing with chatbots, mobile apps, and more. This gives the robots instant access to customer histories, preferences, context.
So the robot knows who you are and what you did before.
That's the idea. This interconnected approach ensures continuity and personalization across all those channels. It makes robots an integral part, really, of the modern digital service ecosystem, not just a standalone tool.
Okay, so to summarize our deep dive then,
I'll say.
it feels like customer service robots are definitely no longer just futuristic novelties. They are strategic assets. They're fundamentally transforming how businesses operate, how we as customers are served, and how our experiences are shaped.
Yeah, stepping back for a moment. Understanding this market isn't just about robots. It's actually key to understanding the entire future of customer interaction. Period. It's that fundamental.
Right. And this raises, I think, an important question for you, our listener, to consider. As these customer service robots continue to evolve in capability, as they integrate more deeply into our daily lives, and particularly as they become more, well, human like and emotionally responsive, what new opportunities or perhaps challenges might arise? How might it change how we define personal connection and trust in service interactions? Something to think about. All the insights for this deep dive were sourced from the Customer Service Robots Market Report 2025 by Cognitive Market Research. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. Remember to stay curious and keep exploring.